I generally organize my rubrics around how, something dealing with content. It's, since we're in a class about rhetorical theory or pop culture, we have to talk about the stuff we're interested in and that we're engaging in class. But quite simply, what I'm also really looking at for students is primarily three categories. One is clarity, two is concision, and three is thoughtfulness. Students, generally for the most part, without thinking about it, can probably hit about two or three of them. But to get all three of them, which is very quite simply the difference between C's, B's, and A's, requires a little bit more work, right? So students might be able to write clearly and concise, but if they're not engaging with the readings, then we're not doing the work of the course. But if they're talking about the readings, but it's not clear about how they're engaging with the readings, then I can't. It's difficult for me to evaluate them and assess them on what learning they're doing in class. If they're concise and thoughtful, or if they're if they're thoughtful and clear, it's difficult because sometimes the concision and clarity gets intermingled there, so that their clarity about what they're thinking about, they might be spending 1,000 words when they could do it in 750 words, and that's just a constraint of the writing. Is that we put minimums and maximums on pages not because we want them to write more or less. Partially, sometimes we do, but also because no matter what you're writing in, you have constraints. Whether it needs to be a particular length, or you have this much amount. And you need to fill it in order to demonstrate particular types of expertise over the matter. The ideal paper, right, is very difficult because it's thinking about, what I'm more interested in is what is the ideal fulfillment of that assignment. And if we're doing an in-class writing assignment, I might just be interested in what ideas are you getting out at the moment. So at that level, I might not be concerned about clarity or concision. I might be concerned about thoughtfulness. If we're doing some other exercises, I might be very concerned about clarity and concision, and I only want you to engage in one part of the argument. So I don't want the student to address 3 or 4 readings, just one part of of an article that you found really interesting, and engage with that in a way that's clear and concise for the reader. So I'm trying to build different ways of students to engage with particular types of readings and cultivate their skills in writing clearly and with concision.